All right. Hello, everyone, inventors and entrepreneurs. Of course, my name is Courtney Laschkewitsch. I'm the managing director here at Inventors Groups of America, and welcome to Inventors Online. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us tonight. I have quite a treat here for you guys. Is anyone new to Inventors Online? If so, if you're new, go ahead and flash your hand in front of the camera. Let me go to the gallery mode. Anyone new? Okay, all right, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. We appreciate you coming to your very first Inventors Online. IGA was co-founded in 2017 by Stephen Key and Andrew Krauss. IGA's goal is to teach individuals how to best commercialize their product ideas, as well as strengthen and support inventor groups throughout the nation. We have a directory of regional and local inventors groups on our website, whom we meet with every single month. And if you are located near one, we highly encourage you to join. We'd love to hear your name and what state or country you're from right now. So go on over to that chat box and open it up and let us know. Of course, please do not disclose anything that is confidential and not already publicly available. Of course, our meeting is being recorded and it will be harnessed on our website and YouTube channel soon after. Of course, feel free to change your name in the participants panel. You can choose to be in gallery mode anytime so you can see everyone. And though it is not required, we would love for you to turn on your video so we can see you tonight. All right, looks like we got lots of people in the chat where they are. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful to see where everyone is each night. Of course, please type in your questions into the chat box as soon as you can so we can get to them if we have some time at the end. And of course, today we will be talking about Sheet Lingo. And this is one of my absolute favorite topics. Of course, just so you guys are aware, we will strictly be focusing on all things copy, as the placement and layout for sheets is a whole different story. Now, I do need to give everyone a little bit of a warning here. There is a lot to learn when it comes to sheet marketing copy. And I mean a lot, way more than an hour's worth. Of course, today we'll be going over some of it, but of course, a fair amount also will not be discussed on this call. We just simply do not have enough time. But again, don't worry, you're in for quite a treat tonight. There are many formulas to sheet lingo. As it is a science, it is also an art. You will have to play with what makes sense for your product and your industry. And I will have to say, we're going to do a couple exercises in this workshop tonight. So I'd highly recommend right now you get up and grab a pencil and a piece of paper or open a note section in your phone and you're going to get ready to write. Look at all those people holding up their pencils. Excellent. All right.
People still own pencils, Courtney?
What is that? Writing utensils.
Is it okay if they type on their computer too if they want?
Well, I guess so.
All right.
You know what's amazing? I want to thank everybody for typing in where they're from, because we have people from the Philippines, London, New Zealand, South America, India, Morocco, Scotland. Larry, I see you there. All around the world. So thank you for joining. It's amazing to see people from so many different places. And of course, a lot of places here in the US. The Ukraine, God, it just goes on and on. Thank you, guys. Canada, wonderful. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. All right. So before we just dive right into it, Stephen, would you like to say anything before we go ahead and start?
Well, thank you very much. I just want to say how important this topic is, that your sell sheet is probably the #1 most important tool you can have when you first reach out to a company. And Courtney's going to go through how to really grab that potential licensee's attention, right? So she's going to probably talk about a lot of mistakes. I know everybody makes a few mistakes along the way, but she's going to talk about how to create great marketing copy that can really grab that potential licensee to get your deal. So Courtney, thank you very much for doing this. I think this is going to be a wonderful workshop. I think it was last month you did one that was fantastic. So we're just so happy to have you back to do another one. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. All right, well, let's just go ahead and get into it. I will, of course, say right off the bat, Marketing copy can be difficult, especially if you're first starting out. I will have to say it does get easier. It definitely took me many sell sheets to make this process truly second nature for me. It's often very difficult at first, and sometimes even the simplest products are often the hardest to come up with a language for, and vice versa. So it does take a lot of practice, and of course it does get easier.
Courtney, can I say something really quick?
Sure.
When you're licensing your product, marketing managers are very busy. They don't have time to go to a website. They don't have time for a slide deck. They don't have time for a long rambling email. They have time to look at a sell sheet, and you have 6 seconds to make an impression. That's it. 6 seconds. They don't have time to look through it all and figure anything out. They got to get it right away. So that's why what Courtney is sharing tonight is so important. It's one piece of the sell sheet, which is, as Steven says, the most important sales tool you can ever have.
Very well said. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, here we go. Sell sheet lingo, how to stand out in a sea of sell sheets. All right, briefly, let's go over what the heck is a sell sheet. For those of you who are not familiar, you can see there's a little advertisement on the right. That is a sell sheet. We like to think of it as a one-page advertisement or a billboard. Of course, a sell sheet is definitely what you're going to be sending to your potential licensee. We're talking about licensing here. One of my favorite examples of talking about sell sheets and how you're presenting them is this second bullet right here. The sell sheet is the salesperson or the package. It's not you. It's this piece of paper. It's this PDF. That is the salesperson. You're simply the person, the delivery driver, driving up to the door. You're dropping off the package and you're running the other direction. It is doing the pitching for you, for your potential licensee. So let it sell for you. It's the professional pitcher, not you, the sell sheet. Of course, we are going to be focusing on sell sheets and marketing copy around sell sheets. Of course, we're not going to get into videos tonight or white sheets, which is often for games and toys. And then briefly, let's get into when and how to use them for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about here with sell sheets. You are using them once you complete your market research, once you've built your virtual prototype or your virtual Frankenstein, and you're ready to go ahead and get into the marketing copy and into the sell sheet. You're doing this before you file your PPA. Of course, a reminder, we cannot give legal advice as a part of IGA, but that is what we recommend. And this is where we are in the process. We worked on a dog toy last time. We made that virtual prototype, and now we're going to work on the marketing copy now that we've finished that for that product. Of course, you always want to ask permission when you're sending a sell sheet after you have asked the right person, and then you can go ahead, and if they say, yeah, go ahead, please send it over, then is the time to go ahead and send over your sell sheet. Of course, we also recommend only sending it via email. So if you're contacting someone via LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or any other means but email, make sure you get their email address so you can continue the conversation via email and send the sell sheet that way. All right, we're going to play a game right off the bat. Everyone go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a writing utensil or your phone. And I'm going to put a timer on right now. And you guys are going to have 1 minute to think about some product that you are already working on or you want to work on. And we're going to set a timer. Normally, this would be maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So keep that in mind for future concepts. And we're going to do a brain dump. You're going to write down anything possible you can think of, keywords, benefits, features, materials, colors, anything you can possibly think of. Right now, you're going to write it down. I'm going to give you guys a minute and you're going to just write down anything possible for that concept. Everyone ready? And go. This is probably the
I
quietest.
didn't know I had to do
Inventors Online will
homework,
be.
Courtney. You got me doing homework here.
I love it. I think it's great. I have a bunch of comments saying, wow, this is really interactive. People are liking it.
I'm getting the co-founders writing stuff down. See, guys, this is not above anyone. You guys have 15 seconds left.
Now I can write down anything, Courtney?
Well, related to the product.
The benefit of it?
Anything. And time. All right, so you guys are going to go ahead and flip that paper over. Do not look at it. Do not add anything more to it. We're going to come back to that actually later in the night. All right, now we're going to talk about copy on a cell sheet. So now that we are familiar with what a cell sheet is, now what are we putting on it? We've got some virtual prototype images potentially, and now we got to write some copy. We got to talk about it somehow. These are the main categories. I will have, again, another disclaimer that there are other things that you can put on a cell sheet, but we're going to be focusing on these main ones here tonight, the most important ones. The OSBS, the one sentence benefit statement, which we're going to get into a little bit later on more about what the heck that is and how do you actually derive it from your benefits. You can see here that it describes your product's main benefit to the user. This is not a statement that has 20 different things in it. This is the number one benefit, the wow factor, the thing that is going to catch someone's eye. The most important thing about this is this little formula that I have written down. I would recommend every single person writing this down right now. The intrigue plus mystery equals interest. Now, this is for your one sentence benefit statement. You can see on the right, you can see this mock-up cell sheet here. You see the OSBS, the one sentence or one line benefit statement is at the top. You always want it to be at the top, and you do want it to be the biggest marketing copy on your cell sheet. Then we go into the key benefits or the benefit statements. You want 3 to 6 of them. Usually these are the ones that are pretty good benefits, but they just didn't cut the OSBS. They should also be in order with most relating down. And then, of course, there may be some features on there, but we're going to get into that just a second to figure out what is the difference between a benefit versus a feature. Then we're going to get into taglines. Now, taglines, I have a little space in my heart for taglines. I really enjoy taglines. And I think of it as kind of the second punch in a 1-2 punch combination, you know, boxing or MMA or what have you. Of course, your one sentence benefit statement is the most important thing, but often the tagline is the last thing that your potential licensee will see on your cell sheet. It can be in multiple places. Often it's at the bottom of your cell sheet, right above that contact info. You'll see that in some of the other cell sheets that we're going to go through later tonight. And then we got the name, and this is a part where a lot of people believe that the name is so important. It's everything. You have an idea, and the first thing you think about is, I got to name it, and I got to file a trademark, and this is what it's going to be called. Just a raise of hands, how many of you already have a name for your concept? All right, yep, we got a fair amount of hands there. All right, so though coming up with names is fun, it's often changed for the licensee. So I would highly recommend that you don't spend too much time with it, especially if you can come up with a descriptor name. That is usually even better. I get a lot of questions from my own students asking, do we even need a name? If a name doesn't really matter, then why even have one on there? And I would recommend a name just so they can talk about it in the office or on the phone. Hey, you know, Bob, remember that cell sheet called the story blanket? Yeah, we got to look into that story blanket. You want to give something there, but I would just pose it just to a descriptor. Don't get too catchy. They're probably going to change it anyways. Then we got captions. Sometimes there are captions and sometimes there aren't within cell sheets. You can see the one on the right actually does not have captions. Captions would be often at the bottom or below images. This is more of a storyboard. Normally there's 3 storyboards. This cell sheet is a 2 storyboard cell sheet. And you can see where it says like pocket, there. And then it says book inside of pocket. Those are actually going to be called callouts. If they were below or above the image, they would be called captions. So we've got callouts, we've got captions, and then last but not least, we have the footer information. You can see in that orange footer there what it would contain. Of course, your name, your business name, all your contact information. You definitely want to have that on there if you want to get a deal here. Phone number, email address. If you do have a patent, you can say patented or patent pending. And then, of course, you definitely want to put at the bottom right-hand corner, available for licensing. Okay, let's get into features. Features versus benefits. So features are factual statements about the product. These are tangible. This is the best way to understand the difference between features and benefits. Features are tangible. Benefits are intangible. A feature describes what the product does, while the benefit is the emotional trigger behind the feature. So you can always change features into benefits. And if you have a benefit and you're trying to think, what is that coming from? Of course, you can do the opposite. You can turn a benefit back into a feature. I like to think of features as like you are, as it says, you are the inventor or the engineer when you're thinking about features. When you're thinking about benefits, you're thinking about marketers, and you guys can see these two cute little images that are showing exactly what is happening here. You want to do marketing. You do not want to do sales here. And then of course, Popeye, I'll let you guys take a look at that, because that could not be more true for our industry. That's the product, but what is it doing to Popeye? So of course, here's some examples. Features, a rubber grip on a pen. The rubber grip would be constituted as a feature. For benefits of a rubber grip on a pen would be if it's comfortable in the hand. It helps me write cleaner. That's the benefit. We'll get into the 3 whys in a second, but another thing I want to pose to you guys is your product for consumers or for commercial use? Who are you actually selling it to? And those benefits will relate to your audience, not your potential licensee, the end user who is going to buy it. So if you want it on store shelves, if you want it in people's homes, we're talking about the consumer. Of course, a lot of people don't think of their product being in trade magazines, but of course people think, well, I've got a restaurant, a kitchen item. I want to see it in restaurants. Okay, so then probably your end user is going to be the restaurant, not the people eating the food. And then how to turn a feature into a benefit. This is phenomenal advice. And I would just have to say, I wish I myself did this more to my own marketing copy. And you're going to ask yourself why 3 times. So let's say we're going to a rubber grip, a different type of rubber grip. And I'm working with someone else and they say, all right, one of the features on there says a rubber grip. Great. Rubber grip, that could be of benefit, but why? I really like to pose if I see my product in store shelves. I'm walking through Target and I see my product, I'm looking at it and I see someone else pick up my product. And they turn to me and they say, there's a rubber grip here. And I'm like, yeah, it comes with a rubber grip. How cool is that? And they say, why do I care? Why does that matter? What's the point of that? What is so great about a rubber grip? I don't care about a rubber grip. And then I start talking, you can grip the product better. And I say, but why do I care about that? Now we're into the second why. Why do I care that there is a grip on it? Why do I care that I can grip the product better? Why does that matter? Well, because it's not safe without a grip. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's the second why. But why do I care about that? It's not safe. Why is it not safe? I don't understand. Can you tell me more? Where is this going? Well, because without a grip, your hand will slide when using the axe, and then you may go from chopping wood to accidentally throwing your axe and, chopping down your house. Oh, okay. We just hit a lot of emotional points right there. We went from my product has a rubber grip to you don't want to accidentally throw your axe at something. That is a massive difference. We just went from a feature to a benefit just by asking 3 whys. We asked the exact same dang question 3 times. And just by doing that, we got to the benefit. So try that. Try using that exercise for every feature you can think of it. It has a rubber grip. Okay, why? What is important about that? Why do I care as a consumer? That's the feature. That's the tangible item. The goal is to get to the intangible, and that's what you want on your sell sheet. You want benefits on your sell sheet. All right, I'm going to go back to you guys, and we're going to play another game here. And it's going to be features versus benefits. Let me bring up my chat here, and you guys can feel free to type some things into the chat as well. But I'm going to say a feature or a benefit, and you guys are going to tell me if it's a feature or if it's a benefit. So I'm going to play a couple here. I'm going to say one, and you're going to say, is it a benefit? You're going to put a thumbs up. This is a benefit. Yes. If it's not a benefit, you're going to put a thumbs down. That is definitely not a benefit. I'm not sure what that is, but it's not. You're going to put a thumbs down if it's a feature and a thumbs up if it's a benefit, or you can go ahead and type it into the chat. Okay, so we're going to start out easy here, I hope. The very first one that I'm going to give you is battery operated. Battery operated. Thumbs up if it's a benefit. Thumbs down if it's a feature. Battery operated. Let me scroll through these 10 pages here. All right, thumbs down. Yes, well said. It is definitely a feature. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen battery operated or batteries included or works with batteries on a sell sheet. I will have to say that there are maybe some times that could be the biggest difference between your product and products out there, but the odds of that being the case are very low. So get rid of that. You're not saying battery operated. Get to the benefit of that feature. That could be huge for your product, but that's not the language we want to use. We want to change that into a benefit. So good job. That was impressive, guys. You got that first one. Let's go on to the next one here, which is easy to clean. Easy to clean. Thumbs up, benefit. Thumbs down if it's a feature. Easy to clean.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go down.
All right, let me get
I'm
through
gonna go
some of
down.
these. All right, the consensus. It's kind of got some ups and downs. All right, I would personally say that this is a benefit. This is a benefit. Oh, look at all these clapping. I love it. Everyone's all happy. So yeah, I would call this a benefit. I would definitely not put this on a sell sheet, and I will explain why that is the case. We'll get to that in a second, but you guys, most of you guys got it right. It would be technically a benefit. You are getting to that emotional part. You aren't saying dishwasher safe. You are using the easy part, the verb, and then you're getting to what is happening. It's you're cleaning it. Let's go to the next one, which is fast installation. I don't know how many people I've tripped up with this one. Fast installation. Quickly installs. Fast installation. Benefit, yes. Thumbs up. Feature, no. Thumbs down. All right. I got some sideways thumbs. We got thumbs up, and yes, I would definitely say that that is a benefit. Good job, guys. Again, I would not use that language in a sell sheet, which we will talk about, but it is a benefit. So good job. Let's do a couple more here. Some speed rounds. We have lightweight base. I will have to give you guys a little thing here that, what if I just said a lightweight? What if I said a lightweight instead of base? Does it change it? Or is the word just not added on to hopefully, change it a little bit? What do you guys think? Lightweight base, is that a benefit or a feature? Some people are saying I'm over this. Yep. All right. Okay. So that I definitely would say lightweight base is a feature. We're talking about tangible. Remember, tangible versus intangible. If you said lightweight, I would still personally definitely call that a feature. We're just trying to get rid of that tangible part. That is not how we're changing features into benefits, by truncating it. Let's do 2 more here. We have water resistant fabric, or water resistant. Okay, we've got a good 50-50 here. All right, people aren't sure here. A little bit confusing. Think of tangible versus intangible. You've got another second. Still thinking.
If you said stays dry, that would be the benefit.
Ah, there you go. Well done, Andrew. It's almost like you've done this before. It's
Oh,
almost
no,
like
never done.
No, Andrew, come on. Yeah. Yes, that I would totally agree that water-resistant fabric is definitely a feature. I will also say that if you use things like this in your sell sheet, like water-resistant fabric, that would be great if your product had that. But that's up to your licensee. So instead of focusing on the actual tangible part of how you want the product to be made, that may not be how they want it to be made. So I would really recommend changing your focus to things that are more about the emotion instead of what it would be made out of, like waterproof, dishwasher safe, fabric instead of, certain cotton instead of something else. Okay, let's stop there. I'm sure you guys probably had tons of stuff in the chat. Man, you guys are extremely impressive here. All right, let's go on to our next deal here. I'm going to bring back my screen. We're going to get back into now what a one sentence benefit is further, and how the heck do we come up with it?
Courtney, can I interrupt for just a minute?
Sure.
You know what's really wonderful about this? We always talk about benefits and features, and you just took it to another level. Because I really like this, because I've always done the benefit and here's some features, but she's taken to another level. She's taken those features and made those even benefits. So she's not only taken one benefit, she's added 4 more benefits, and that's selling. So congratulations. I learned something tonight. I think it's brilliant. Fantastic, Courtney. And that's why we're all here. I'm even here trying to learn this. So Courtney, thank you very much for that. You just took it to another level for me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. Can you combine a benefit with a feature? So stays, like it's a backpack, okay? Stays dry, waterproof material.
Yep, absolutely. And
Sure.
as we go through different examples here, definitely, and that'll often make the kicker is if you're going to say the feature at the beginning or the end. And as long as you have that, emotional, like sturdy with rubber grip, then you're getting more into those benefit sentences instead of like a benefit statement or just a feature or whatnot.
Cool. I'm going to miss using my thumb. I'm going to give you a thumbs up on that. I was enjoying using my thumb.
All right. One sentence benefit statement. Okay, I will just also have to say I could spend hours and hours on OSBSs. So this is a quick rundown of what they are, how to use them, how to create them. Of course, we talked about what they are described.
Can I ask you a question, Courtney, real quick? Can you give us the time involvement here? Is it something people can sit down and do this, then walk away, come back, spend more time in? Do you find that people don't spend enough time on this? They don't. They make too rash of decisions. They don't.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say, especially for people who are first starting out with all of this, they'll do like the brain dump as we were doing, and then they will kind of piece it together. And man, I would say a majority of my students that I see say, it's good, I'm done, let's send it in. And I would say it's not even close to how we want them. It takes a while. It's just something that is acquired. It's like an acquired taste. You have to really understand the psychology of what we're doing here. This is not just words. This is definitely language, and you have to understand the meanings behind them. So I would definitely say if you're spending time, and for my own product development prowess, just so you guys as an audience are aware, this is where I spend my most time in the whole entire process. This is where it comes down to. This is how well do I know my product, where I can just easily talk about the benefits of it. It takes a while to understand just features, the benefits, let alone the first thing that you say that comes out of your mouth is a benefit. That takes time. And once you put that time in, it is a piece of cake, but you just got to get there. Great question, Andrew. Okay, so often these terms are very oftenly used within OSBSs. You see faster, cheaper, cleaner, smaller. You see there's a lot of ERs in there. There is a pattern. Definitely take note of that. In minutes, in seconds. So now we're talking about time frames, half the time, half the space. You can see double, triple. Those are big, wow factors, key terms that you want to be able to hopefully use in your OSBS. You see there's 4 examples on the right here. That top one is the sentence that I got my licensing deal with. Double your workspace anywhere, anytime. That is how I got the deal with that sentence. You can see there's 3 others there: scoop and level with 1 tool, easily collect your coins and time. And then you can see some examples more on the left. Lures designed with nature in mind. We've got a little bit of rhyme there, which I would recommend if you can keep it not a tongue twister, but just a nice flow like that. They can be short too. Keep food fresher. That is incredibly short. That is 3 words, and yet I don't know what the product is and I want it. And that is what you want with an OSBS. If someone asks you, what is your product? You're going to use your OSBS. And if they're like, I have no idea what the product is, but it sounds cool, like I want it, that is what you're trying to get at. The intrigue plus mystery equals interest. Of course, you have ways to use your OSBS. If someone asks you what your product idea is, as we just mentioned, if someone asks you, can you describe it? You're not going to go into, well, it has this rubber grip. Nope, we're done with that. We're going to go straight to that OSBS, and you're going to say what it is. What is your product? Oh, well, it doubles your workspace anywhere, anytime. I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. Like whatever it is, like send it over. That sounds cool. I want to learn more. You can also use it in the subject of an email, over the phone with a potential licensee. And then, of course, if you leave a voicemail, you can do that as well. I will have to say this next section here, the tips, I would like to reframe this as training wheels. Once you learn the rules, and once you really learn them, be honest here, it's okay to break them. It's okay to expand. This is how we expand the industry. This is how we figure out what works. Innovation, even within rules, is vital. It's important. But you have to learn, and I would even say abide by the rules or the recommendations or whatnot as much as you can until you totally get why these are true, why we recommend these. And then if you're thinking, okay, I've done a good 5, 6, 7 sell sheets, I'm getting the gist, I'm following this, I understand. Now I want to just try something else. Maybe it'll be a disaster. Maybe it's going to be the new trend that everyone's going to hop on. Just make sure you learn the rules before you break them. You can see, you guys can feel free to take a look at this and take photos in the, at the recording as well. We'll go through just a couple of them. We talked about rhyming, dictionary, thesaurus, synonyms. That's great. I definitely recommend 5 to 8 words. I'm usually using this as like a test. Once I believe I have my OSBS, I'll say, all right, like here we go. Does it work with these, 10 different, rules here? Is it between 5 to 8 or 3 to 15? Does it not say what the product is in it? Step away for a few days. These are just, of course, some other tips as well. Feel free to take a look at those. Mystery, make sure if people know what the product is because they see your OSBS, that is not the goal. So make sure just by reading the OSBS, it sounds intriguing, it sounds exciting. They don't know what it is. They don't know what the actual physical thing is. They just get the benefit, and that's what sells, and that's what you want to focus on. All right, now I know we teased a little bit in the marketing copy, the biggest mistakes, and you guys are here for that, so I've got them right here. This is definitely just a little pet peeve of mine, and for great reason, and that is a majority of sell sheets that I see use cliche words. Of course, when you're excited, you want to use new, you want to use innovative, you want to use first of its kind. As exciting as that sounds, and yes, it is emotion, yes, it is benefit, it is fluff, and let me tell you, I don't know how many companies have seen these words in paragraph by paragraph by paragraph of all the language that inventors are sending to companies, tons of just paragraphs full, not sell sheets, just like you look at this sell sheet on the right here. Holy cow, we'll need to talk about that because that is exactly what I'm talking about. We don't want to use that language. It's so cliche. It'll make you sound crazy, truly crazy to the company. You want to, appreciate their time. You want to be professional. And so with being professional, as much as we want to use those words, let's get rid of those words. They're just fluff. You can say that about every single of your product. Everyone could raise their hand. I bet you if I asked how many of you guys put in any of those words on your, little paper. I know Steven didn't, we got him. Most people have used these terms, and definitely wipe that out of your mind, cross that off, make sure that's a big no-no. Don't put those anywhere on your sell sheet. Even when speaking, I wouldn't recommend it.
Courtney, I have a question. So let's say you build a sell sheet and you're not quite sure it's working. How do you test it? Do you send it to a company first and not get a response, and then you realize, oops? Is there a way to test it before you make that mistake?
Yeah, there's a couple things you can do. I would definitely recommend, if you can, to ask, various people, have them, play the 6-second game, start a timer, show it to them. Do they get it within 6 seconds? I don't know how many spelling errors myself that I have had because I've just sent it off to a company and then realized it didn't actually proof my own sell sheet. As much as I would love to proof my own sell sheets, as a professional inventor myself, I do not proof my own sell sheets because I know when you look at something for more than 30 minutes, your mind will not see those. I will, though, have to say that showing it to someone is also a double-edged sword. You really want to show someone who's potentially within the industry, who's an expert, who's maybe not necessarily your family or your friends because they don't know the process. I don't know how many times I've had students come back and say their family said, why is the name not at the top of the advertisement? And so you got to be careful about that. So I definitely, if you want help with that, look to people who are experts in that. Yeah.
Here's one more question. So let's say I make my sell sheet and I'm sending it out. Should I send it out to 30 companies all at once, or should I go a little slow to get some feedback? And the second part of that, if I don't get any response at all, what should I do?
Yes. So I will give my own personal take on that question. And that is, if you are doing this through expert advice, if you have someone, whether it's a coach or a mentor or whatnot, and they believe that you are putting your best foot forward, I'd run like the wind. I'm pitching to hundreds of companies immediately because it's a numbers game. If you're maybe doing this for the first time, you may want to just tiptoe a little bit. This is an industry. This is not a get rich quick scheme. So you really want to make sure you do put your best foot forward. And if you don't get a response within a week, definitely go ahead and follow up. Hey, just checking in. Was wondering if you received my sell sheet or if you had any questions. Thanks. Keep following up. Try a different email. Definitely do not send a sell sheet if they have not given you the okay. They may not even be at the company. Turnover is quick. So you may believe you have it, but if they haven't responded to that first one of, I'd love to send you my sell sheet, then you gotta wait.
Yeah, the only thing I would recommend too, and I love what you just said, if you are somewhat new at this, maybe send it to a few companies first to get a read. Because maybe they're asking questions that you haven't really put your best foot forward, or maybe you could answer them in the next sell sheet. So you have time to adjust to send it to more. But the other thing too, if you're not getting a response, there's really two things I think you should do. Number one, definitely look at your sell sheet, okay? And look at it, and maybe you missed something. And if you can ask for feedback, try to get it. But let's say you don't, look at it again, but also look at your email that you're sending out. Those are usually your two biggest mistakes. Well, really three: wrong company, bad sell sheet, your outreach is wrong. But usually it's your sell sheet that's not communicating correctly. You're making those mistakes that Courtney's talking about.
Very true. Great. All right, so we talked about the first one here. And then the other thing is you don't articulate the benefit enough. Oh man, how many people, a raise of hands, in fact, I'm going to go back to you guys right now and just a raise of hands. How many people can say that your product saves time or saves money? Oh, wow, this is extremely impressive. I see no one. Okay. It was just the first page. That's why you guys are in the front row seats, because you guys know this, you get this. Okay, yes. So a lot of people will say that their product saves time and saves money, and that may be the case. Your product may save time and may save money, but we're not going to put that language on a sell sheet because that is a benefit. We want a true benefit statement that you're going to use the 3 whys, not just for features, but for not fully thought out benefits as well. Almost every single product saves something, but it's so generic. So many companies are like, yeah, great. So does, my coffee cup, so does, this pen, everything does. So you have to stand out. So many inventors are pitching these days. How do you stand out? You don't waste a company's time. You make sure that you're professional. And that includes making sure that your marketing copy is at the utmost level of professional, where you're not wasting their time with generic sentences.
If you don't do this right, Courtney, and if you're wasting someone's time, what happens then?
You know, this is a very unfortunate situation because not only are you potentially burning a bridge with the company, but you're also burning a bridge for the whole community. And definitely companies can close doors because of the way that you're pitching. When you are pitching, you're not just upholding your own product or you as a person or your career or your hobby or whatever you want to call it. This is also reflects on the community, and we can truly say this with full wholeheartedness that this has definitely happened because of this. And so this is more important than ever, that it's not just you. It's not just, let me just try this. You're upholding the whole community. So you definitely want to spend time with this. Great.
Yeah, we've seen that actually happen. And because if you're wasting a company's time and they get too many submissions, then that door can close.
Yeah,
So
That's a very scary thing.
Yeah, so we've seen that before happen, directly related to the number of bad submissions. So
Even I've
take your-
gone to
take your
different
time.
trade shows before, and we walk around, talk to companies about receiving ideas from inventors. And someone said, you know, we just decided not to do it anymore. We got too much junk. You know, they just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I wouldn't say that's common, but we do see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to be aware of it. Make sure you do a good job with your sales sheet, reach out correctly, be that ambassador for the next inventor behind you.
Yeah.
Right, that's very important. So thank you for mentioning
Well
that,
said.
Courtney. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, you're too wordy with many features. This is definitely extremely common. We won't talk too much on this sell sheet that I don't want to look at right now, but it is very scary. All of those words there with the bucket handle grip, speaking of grips. Yeah, there's a lot of good language within it. But this is, I would almost not even constitute this as a sell sheet. Lighten your workload today. Now that sounds exciting. Lighten your workload instantly. Now we've got, get instant comfort and relief, instant comfort and relief for your hands. Give your hands instant comfort and relief. Now we're getting into the benefits. But this kind of paragraph by paragraph thing is not professional. And then the other thing that we talked about on social media was the number one most important thing to remember when making copy. I personally believe that that is emotion. When you think of Disney, you think of story. Story is popular or reaches out to you because of the emotion that you're feeling. That is everything. I don't know how many times I've looked at a sell sheet that is so beautiful. I'm not in this industry. I wouldn't even I'm not the right clientele for the product. It's not even a product I could even use. And if you can look at a sell sheet and feel that emotion of, wow, I would buy that product. I can't even use it. I don't even if you immediately have that gut reaction of that is the coolest thing ever, I want it. And I'll have to gift it. I can't even use it. That is the power of sell sheets. That is what you're trying to get after. So if you don't have that wow factor, that excitement, that emotion, then you definitely need to rework your copy to be able to feel that. All right, so what we've been waiting for, that piece of paper that you've had, go ahead and flip that over right now. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds just to read it of what you have written down. And what we're going to do is from our last Inventors Online workshop, we made this little, in fact, I can move it around here. This is a reminder. This is on Google Slides. And yes, I do use Google Slides to work on my marketing copy as well. This is a product that we were working on last time. You guys can, for those of you who have not seen it, is a tug of war dog toy. A dog can play with by itself. So I did this earlier today. I took a minute and I went ahead and wrote down all the different benefits that I could think of or anything that came to mind. So you can see dog toy. That was the first thing. Okay, it's a dog toy. I got to start somewhere. As a squeaker, I immediately went into the features, and then I started, running off as many things as I could think of. Again, I'd recommend doing this for a good like 3 minutes or 4 minutes instead of a minute here. And then what I do with myself, my own products, and my students is I write down all the different categories that all of this language could fit into. The OSBS, the benefit statements, the tagline, which is optional, the name, the captions, which you may not know for a while if you don't know the layout of your cell sheet you've chosen. Then we're going to go ahead and put them in all these different places, figure out where they fit best. And then you're going to start making statements with them, go back and forth with them. So go ahead, you can follow along with me right now as I type them in, or you can go ahead and do it with your own product. So you can write those different categories on your piece of paper and you can start putting them in. Or I'm also going to open up the chat here. If you guys have any thoughts of where certain things should go for this particular product, or any thoughts for good benefit, let me get that out of the thing here. Any benefit statements, any tagline ideas for this product, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and start writing it down. I'm also going to truncate this here so the screen looks a little bit smaller. And we're going to just start coming up with different things. I'll show you guys how this works really briefly here since we're time's crunched a little bit. We've got squeaker, play, picnic table, keep dog busy. Okay, keep dog busy. There's something there. What could we use? Feel free to type in the chat if you want to. Looks like we got happy dog, happy owner. Okay, well, that's totally a great tagline. You could probably say that about a lot of products. Any toy, you could probably say happy dog, happy owner. However, it does have a ring to it. I'll definitely put that down as a tagline. Well, man, you guys are good. Solitary dog toy, build social interaction skills. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That is a really great benefit. In fact, I would even go as far as you could say maybe encourages.
Carrie said hours of fun for your pup. Jabron said hours of exercise and entertainment for your dog.
You know what it also does? It builds that relationship with your animal. When you
That's
play
great.
with an animal that way, it builds that one-on-one. Yeah.
So we're slowly starting to take different things that we started with, put them in. Maybe some of these hours of fun for your pup. Maybe that could be a potential OSBS. We'll put that in both locations, which I do all the time. A little hint that I don't really tell many people, but I also have something that's not on here called a graveyard. And I put all my copy that I do not use into this graveyard. And then I pull it out of the graveyard, which of course now they're kind of ghosts, which is a little weird, but that's okay. We don't talk about that. And then I just move them in and out of the graveyard for the copy that I want. Save your slippers, good. Keep dogs busy safely, good. Exercise for dogs, peace of mind for owners. Man, you guys are good. Give your dog a toy to pull on out of boredom instead off your pant coffee. There we go. All right. So you guys are doing really good here. And this is fun. This should be really fun. So make sure that you're excited about this. You're putting them in different, locations and whatnot. Of course, we could go on for this for hours and hours. You're going to work on this, definitely spend some time away from it and come back to it. I don't know how many times I've worked on a product, thought it was great, spent a week not even looking at it and coming back and looking at it and thinking, what the heck did I do? Like, this is like, even as a professional, I look at this, and I still choose to take time away and come back and rework the language. Look at all these. Good job, guys. This is awesome. Tiger the cow. Yep. And I had a question if it was a cow as well. I would say yes. Jolly smile. Okay, so these are good. Quick question here. Someone asked, what is an OSBS? That is the one sentence benefit statement. Okay, so let's pretend that we worked through all of this and let's go ahead and I'm going to go to the next page of when I did this earlier with my product. This is the marketing copy that I started to mess with. This is where I would stop. Again, this is what I've created for this product. I would still come back to it. And you can see some of these are kind of similar. So I might want to change the language a little bit. We also have way too many key benefits. I would truncate them, figure out what is the most important. Is it never let your dog lose his favorite toys again? Is that really it? Is that why people would buy this product? Maybe not. Maybe it encourages independent play. Maybe that's why I want it. So I can be on a Zoom call and, not have to constantly throw a toy to a dog. There's different reasons of what you believe is the most important benefit. So mess with this and have fun with it. Of course, you notice what I did not add down at the bottom there. Water resistant, made of cotton and rope. We talked about that. Those are features, and we may not get our way. We may not get, we may want it to be cotton, but we don't want to, mention that to the licensee until they're truly, let's do this deal. I'm interested. What are your thoughts on materials? That is the time to mention, yep, I do have some thoughts. I've done, I'm a professional. You don't want to say that, but I'm a professional. I've done the market research. Let me give you my thoughts. I think cotton would be good, out of rope material, etc. But it's not a place to use on your sell sheet.
You mean, Courtney, we don't want to say nothing like it. Everyone will want one. We don't want to put that on there.
I don't want to hear that ever again after this workshop. No more of that. If you guys LinkedIn message me that your product is one of a kind, you will not be getting a message back. And that is your one and only warning. There are no one of a kinds or new or innovative stuff going on here.
Yeah.
All right, real quickly here before we close up, now that you guys are a little bit more seasoned within this language, you can look at these cell sheets and kind of have an internal sigh of what is going on here. And, you kind of feel the pain that I have as well when I look at these. You can see some of the things I mentioned on the left. These benefits are too long. This is like a whole massive sentence here. We also use the name constantly. The name is also at the top. The name is also in the OSBS. The captions are too generic, exactly like we were talking about earlier. It saves time. It saves money. You can see on the right here, they use the word features, which definitely I would not recommend to say features or benefits. You can see these are also extremely simple and generic. They are lightweight. A lot of products are lightweight. It is compact. A lot of products are compact. These may be the case. These may be the biggest differences, but you got to rework the language to make it more exciting and change them more from features into benefits. And then here's some more fun ones that are much better. You can see let your savings soar. Raise your hand if you want to see your savings soar. I mean, who doesn't want to see their savings soar? That sounds exciting. You're making money. I want to buy the product. I don't even know what the product is. I saw the first benefit. I'm like, heck, I'm sold. Like, you get excited. You want to have that emotion when you look at a sell sheet. And then, of course, you get into the other ones that are, important as well. Teach your kids about saving in a playful way. Save space on your dresser or a desk. You have the name smaller. You have the OSBS at the top. You have the caption at the bottom, which we didn't see earlier. Often, taglines. Often taglines start with a because. So because cleaning up after horses takes too much time, because ... Why do you want it? Because of this reason. You can have a little, humor added to it, can also be of benefit. All right, my final tips here for you guys to remember, some super important stuff. This is massive. Real estate is everything, maybe in the world as well. But just talking about sell sheets, real estate is your most prized possession. That's why we're taking out the fluff. That's why we're taking out the cliche words. That's why we're not putting as many benefits so we can add more pictures. It is everything, and I mean everything. So please don't overcrowd it. Less is more. Of course, gear your copy to the consumer, not the potential licensee. There are, of course, a couple of exceptions depending on the product and the industry, but for the most part, think of who your end user is, who is buying it in stores. This is something that took me a very long time to grasp the concept of how important this is, but try adding a S in certain places on your benefits instead of encourage independent play, which is what what we were talking about, what that dog toy does. What does it do? Well, encourage independent play with your dog, but make that an action. We're just adding an S and it changes the whole thing. What is it doing? It's encouraging independent play. It encourages independent play. That makes a sentence so much more powerful when you just add that S. So definitely play around with that and see if you can make them more into actions instead of static sentences. Also try reversing the sentence. This can be difficult for some sentences, but you can see here an example. Install tile, as we were talking about that sponge earlier. Install tile the easy and clean way. Flip it around. The easy and clean way to install tile, and then work with that, mess with it a little bit more. And then of course I came up with easily install and clean tile within seconds. I don't have tile in my house and I want the product. I don't have tile. And I'm like, how cool is that? Within seconds? That's powerful. And you want to make sure every benefit, every statement on your sell sheet is powerful. Of course, you do want to do your market research. Definitely look at various packaging and marketing copy on various websites, similar industry related products. Again, learn the rules before you break them. You are upholding the industry, so we definitely recommend doing that. And then last but not least, of course, fall forward. At some point, you do have to move forward with your marketing copy. It's very easy to spend months and months on this. Do not. It's good to step away from it and come back to it. But at some point, you do need to move on. You do need to move forward. You do need to get that sell sheet done and to pitch. Worst comes to worst, you get feedback that says, we just don't get it. They spent, 10 minutes and they have no idea what the product is. How important feedback is that? You just sent it to a company and they said they don't get it. You know what the problem is. It's the sell sheet. And you can go back and change it. It's not set in stone. You can change it and you can repitch it. You can apologize. You can say, I totally, you're right. I didn't put my best foot forward. Let me try sending this to you. Does that make sense? It's okay to play with it, but at some point, of course, you do need to ship it. So don't be afraid at some point to just move forward and hear the feedback from companies and hear their thoughts on it.
Hey, Courtney, I want to get to a couple. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just real briefly, the last slide, of course. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping at the end here, but I would also just like to say that this presentation was in memory of my grandfather, Len Smith, who passed away last week and was a big reason why I did end up going into business and licensing. And he was a big supporter for myself and my family, and just want to put this at the end, that this presentation was in commemoration and in memory of him.
Courtney, I want to get to a couple questions real quick. I know we're running out of time, but there's a couple really important ones that I
let's
saw.
do it.
First of all, Courtney, what a great job. Thank you so much. And it's really hard to cover everything within an hour, everyone, but there's a couple questions I thought were really critical. Someone keeps on asking Elizabeth and keep on saying this, how do you do everything in 6 seconds? Okay. The big benefit should be done very quickly. That's what we're talking about, not the whole sell sheet, not all the questions, how, when, what. There's so much more information. You want, as Courtney said at the very beginning, you want to get them engaged a little bit. You want to get some interest. You want them to ask questions. If you give them too much information and you're not selling the big benefit first, they're going to get bogged down in the details. Details come later. Yep. So that one-line benefit statement of the big picture of why it's important, that should be done very fast. The last thing you want people to try to read it and try to figure it out. You will lose your audience. Yep. Okay. We also repeat, we've said this many times, a sell sheet's like a billboard. You're going down a highway at 70 miles an hour. You look up, you get it. Yep. If you can't look at it that fast, you've got to rework it. Now, here's the other thing too. A lot of people are talking, Elizabeth also asked about a pitch deck and a business plan. No, this is about licensing. And even people that do a pitch deck, which I'm not big on, or even a business plan, which I'm not even big on at all, is that you're spending too much time not selling the benefit to your audience fast. If you can use this one-line benefits, this one-page sell sheet so fast, then you can get them look at a business plan or maybe a pitch deck. It comes a little later. I've been in so many meetings where someone gets so much in the details, but they're not telling me why is it important to me to keep me engaged. And that's what we're talking about tonight. The other thing I think is really important, is this good for games? Games are really hard. There's no problem and solutions with games. It's fun. So when you're doing a game, make sure your sell sheet shows someone with happy, excitement. Use words that shout, show that emotion graphically and with the 1 minute video. You have to. Games are different.
Yep.
The other thing I want to mention too, storytelling. You guys, you don't have to sell. Make your sell sheet tell a story. Now, you can do it with the little boxes down below. This is how you do it. You could do it with the problem / I know that problem. I have that problem. And here's my solution. You could do it that way. Sell sheets are a form of storytelling, but very quick storytelling. I think it was absolutely great. I love it. I learned something tonight. Thank you very much. It makes you start to really think about each and every word that you use.
Yep.
Right. And so, Courtney, I cannot say enough for what you've done. Thank you so much tonight.
Absolutely. And I will have to say that Mike Miller has a really phenomenal metaphor, a great point for this about too many details on a sell sheet. He says is like telling someone you want to have kids on the first date.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for a second. Very, very powerful.
And on that note, there was somebody, I forget who it was. I was trying to find it, but they said, should we put manufacturing costs in the sell sheet? No. The sell sheet is an advertisement that they would show to their customer. So when you make a sell sheet for them, it's what they would show to their customer to sell them. You're not putting manufacturing costs in a sell sheet. Okay, you can put it in an email if it's critical, but not in the sell sheet. So I forget who had that question. It was a good question.
That's really a good thing. And you guys, to take it to another level too, if you know the manufacturing cost, that's a good thing to do, but maybe not in your sell sheet.
Yep.
Right. That's good additional information. But the
that's
other thing
marriage.
too,
that's later.
It's a little later. Right. The other thing too, and I'm really glad that you said that, because some people, they're trying to put the kitchen sink and everything else in the sell sheet. Don't do that.
It doesn't go in there.
No, be very careful.
Even if you're selling a soap dish, you might throw a kitchen sink.
Well, maybe.
It might be in the picture somewhere. You know?
I love it.
One last thing I want to say, that someone said recently that you might take it to one more step and show them on another sheet later, similar products and your point of difference in the marketplace.
I do that myself.
Right. It's so important to go, these are in the marketplace. This is what this does, but this is what mine does. That allows them to see it very quickly. Let me tell you a reason why your sell sheet is so important. You're helping that person that sees it sell it to their boss.
Yep.
Right. So if it looks like it's done, it's not done professionally, there's a good chance they're not going to share it. If it looks like they have to fix it, they're not going to share it. So do it such a way that's done so well that they're proud to share it. They can even show it to a buyer. They can show it to a manufacturer. They can show it to their boss. That's the whole point of doing this well.
I want to interrupt real quick. If you guys could start typing in your thank yous for Courtney, that would be fantastic. That would be great. So type them into the chat.
Yeah, we have a couple details at the very end.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to those. Of course, if you'd like to see in the future in Inventors Online, where we do continue the process at some point into how to make an actual sell sheet with the different layouts and putting it all together, please let us know in the chat box. Feel free to contact me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to give my email address. I'll give that right now in a second here. Of course, also please let us know about other topics of interest. If you guys have a particular topic or a particular workshop that you'd like to see, please let us know. I read through every single note in the chat every single time. I check all my LinkedIn messages. I look at all my emails. We are here for you. So please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. How can we help you? What can we do to make your journey smoother? Of course, please let us know if you like these workshop style meetings, which is a little bit new. Please let us know how you feel about these, getting a little bit more involved. And then let me go ahead and also, if you guys had a question and it did not get answered, go ahead and feel free to send me an email. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. Oh boy, that's dangerous. Just threw that in there. So I might regret it later, but go ahead and utilize that email address at any point. I'd love to hear from you guys truly. So don't hesitate to reach out there. And then of course, our next event is coming up per usual once a month. So you guys will have to see who it is or what it is, but save the date for October 27th for our next Inventors Online.
I do want to mention that I think these workshops are great. What does everybody think? I love these workshops. I do too. And what we're going to do, Courtney's going to bring these workshops and bring them over to our YouTube channel at InventRight TV. And I think these workshops are so important. I said, look, bring them on over there. Everybody can look at them. I know there's some people can attend tonight, maybe they cannot, but I'm going to twist her arm and bring her over there. So you guys will be able to see more workshops over in InventRight TV. Yeah,
So,
I think it's a good idea.
Can we do some screen captures here? So if everybody can raise their hand or give a thumbs up, probably thumbs up is good. I always have to do the screen capture. So I got to do a couple pages. So hang in there, keep your thumbs up. Got a couple more than a few pages here. There's second page, third page. Wow, a lot of you are on video tonight. Wow, that's fantastic. All right, I got them all, Courtney.
Okay, one last thing. Courtney, you got one more slide.
Yes, I've got 2 more slides.
Okay.
Let me bring these up here. Let's briefly go ahead and start talking about Inventor Summit. Let me bring that up here.
Yes, there's another big event coming up. I want you guys to look into it to see if there's some speakers and there's some content that might be important to you. It's coming up on October 13th to the 16th. It's called Inventors Summit. MIC is putting it on. It's going to be fantastic. Do you have any of the speakers there at all?
Of course.
Oh, there you go. Good.
It's not
Now,
set in stone.
Yeah, let me tell you what's really important here. Red Points. That's a very large company. They're going to show you how to protect your brand online, because everybody knows everybody's stealing everybody's stuff. That's going to be very important. If you want to know how to protect yourself online, Red Points is going to be there. Christina Davis, she's fantastic. She's going to talk about PR.
She is.
We have Dan, the inventor of 𝗀𝗀𝗃. The guy is wonderful. Of course, we've got Woody. We've got more. You guys, please check this out. Chris Mead, the inventor of CrossNet. That guy's a marketing genius. He's going to come on and share some tips. And of course, we've got Courtney there. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a great event. Do not miss it.
Yeah, Michigan Inventors Coalition. Do I have that right? Yeah.
Yep.
They're a really cool group. There are, I don't know how many, Stephen, but like 6, 7, 8 inventor associations in Michigan got together to put this on. I think it's really cool that these groups are getting together. IGA, Inventor Groups of America, our group here, is all about supporting inventor groups across the country and supporting their leaders. So that's been one of our missions.
Well, you know, it's really great. A lot of us are helping with this event. It's going to be wonderful. I think this is like their 9th annual. These guys have been doing it for a long time, but now it's gone online. Do not miss this event. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. One last thing, Courtney.
Yes, let me bring that up.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to see. I see Benjamin here. Benjamin's there from what we did last month, which is a huge event. I see a lot of familiar faces. How you doing, Ben? Okay, you guys, real quick. This IGA is all about helping you, but it's also about talking about your local inventors group. You guys, we do this online. They do it online. There's a lot of information that's close to you. So find out. You go to our website, find your local inventors group, and support them. They're a wonderful group. They're going to talk about how to save time and money and all this stuff that we've been talking about. They're going to share that with you too. So if you're close by, check out our website and join your local inventors group. It's important. There you go. What a full night.
If we could do it's always kind of crazy and loud. So get ready for some craziness here. And let's give a round of applause to Courtney. Now, not yet. I need to unmute you. I think I just click on the mute all button and then I'll unmute them all. Allow. Courtney, how do I spontaneously unmute everybody? Do I just need to give them the ability? They all need to unmute themselves?
Yeah, I can go ahead and just press the button right
Yeah,
here.
I'm going to click
Hang on.
I don't see it. Can you find it there for me?
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best, Courtney. Thank you.
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney.
Enough. Guess it's just me. I guess the co-founders are just they
There we
unmuted
are.
themselves. Darn it.
I unmuted myself. Thank
Wonderful.
you so much, Courtney. Your enthusiasm is amazing. I think everybody appreciates it. I think a lot of people came back. I think we had almost 300 people last time, and a lot of people came back to watch you. So thank you.
Good job,
Absolutely.
Courtney.
Yeah, wonderful. We really appreciate everyone coming to this event, of course, and for following along with us from the virtual prototype with that product, that dog product, onto the cell sheet marketing copy language here. We really appreciate you just spending an hour with us, just getting to know the community a little bit more. I can't wait to look at the chat and see all of the phenomenal marketing copy and features and benefits you guys came up with. I really look forward to that right after this. Of course, feel free to message me at any point in time via email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anything you guys want. I'm always available. And with that said, of course, we hope to see you all at our next meeting next month, of course, so we can bring you more expert information in the areas you need help in. Thanks again, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney. Bye, everybody.